and you know, if you see it, you have to go for it.
Yeah.
So she came in, and I sat her down for dinner with her parents, and I said to her, you know, you're beautiful. Can I take you out to dinner? I'd be honored to take you out to dinner sometime. And she said, okay, fine. And I bought him a lot of drinks, you know.
Yeah, just to cement the relationship. Okay. And it worked?
Yes.
How long have you been married?
10 years now.
Have you taken her out to dinner yet?
I haven't gotten to
I haven't gotten around to that yet. Now, it is a different ballgame now than it was 10, 15,
right.
20 years ago, admittedly. And now you get past that first line. Whatever it is, you say it sincerely from the heart, as
yes.
you suggested in the last segment. The woman responds, you sit down and you start to talk to her. What is she looking for?
Okay. You have to build a rapport with the woman. You have to pick common ground, safe territory, establish connections, understand similarities. There's a type of what I call a mental courtship that goes on right after that. Women expect men to think a certain way, creative, witty, intelligently, and men have to learn certain verbal communication skills so they can transfer important information to the female that you will take and evaluate. He has to convey that he is an individual that is ambitious, decisive, industrious, and she takes this information, decides whether this individual is going to rise to the top of his field someday. It gives her clues to his future. Women don't pick the most resourceful men. Now, Wilma Flintstone picked Fred because he could move boulders around and he was a hunter and he knew how to make fires, you know. So all women's preferences through evolution have now become instinct today. But for the man, it's not that much pressure. For the guy, it's simply this. If he has a job, and his job has a future to it, and he conveys the fact to her that he's the type of individual that's going to go after that future, that's the key. Well, that's one of the keys. That's not all of them. The book is over 250 pages.
Yeah, no, and we can't get everything
right.
in one segment.
A book called How to Pick Up John Eagan. Come on out, John. Now, here's something. Now, we got our chick magnet. Seems like a nice guy. He works hard. Takes care of himself. You work out? You look in good shape?
Bit, yeah.
But he still can't meet women. Can you help him?
Sure, we need a little bit of work, but we'll do it.
Will you take him backstage and work on him, and then we'll meet him later in the show? All right, go learn some guys. John Eagan, on what women of the 90s want from their man. Let's bring him back right now. John Eagan, everybody. John, you wrote this book. I got it right here. How to pick up women, how to pick up beautiful women in nightclubs or any other place. How many women did you do research on for this book?
Well, I interviewed 2,000 women, and you know what I found out? You're never going to get anywhere with a woman of the 90s with an attitude like some of these guys have here on the panel. The only thing they're showing us is that they're ancient relics, fossils of the 80s and the 70s and the 60s. The woman of the 90s won't put up with this nonsense anymore. I've been a bartender for over 20 years, and I've seen everything that's going on out there, and I really felt today guys need help. It's a difficult situation today for a guy to go over and approach and start dating the woman of the 90s. There's a whole new set of rules out there in the 90s. What guys got away with in the 80s and the 70s and the 60s, a woman of the 90s wouldn't even tolerate it.
All right, give me 5 things that women of the 90s do want from a
The
man.
women of the 90s are more specific today. They're demanding sincerity, mutual respect, honesty, a gentleman, a man who's in touch with his feelings. They did a survey where they had a room full of men, and they asked women, pick out the men that you're attracted to, and they did. Then they had the women meet the men. After they met the men, they asked them again, now pick out the woman that you're attracted to, and they picked out a completely different set of guys. They picked out average guys who had personality attributes like friendly, nice personality, honest, altruistic. What I mean by altruistic is not being selfish, putting other people in front of themselves, getting in touch with their well-being. This is what turns the women of the 90s on. And the guys who were the obvious choices to begin with, they turned the women off if they were self-centered or full of themselves.
How about the men on my panel today? Do any of the men on my panel today have what it takes to attract a woman of the 90s?
After they read my book, they might, but not now.
Plus, he wrote the book on how to pick up women, and now Hard Copy goes undercover to test the secrets of scoring that make women melt. It's How to Pick Up Women on the next Hard Copy.
He wrote the book, How to Pick Up Women.
You have to be sincere and genuine and from the heart.
The secrets of scoring that he says make women melt.
I tell you, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. You really are.
Now, Hard Copy goes undercover to see if these catchy come-ons really ignite a spark.
Hi, I just couldn't wait another minute to tell you how beautiful I think you are.
It's the do's and don'ts of How to Pick Up Women. Tomorrow.
Written, How to Pick Up Beautiful Women in Nightclubs or Any Other Place, Secrets Every Man Should Know. Written by a bartender. Is that what you are, John?
That's right, yes.
Okay. Sorry, so how does an average Joe pick up a beautiful, straight, non-pro woman?
Well, there's absolutely no reason for any man of the 90s to have to resort to this to get a date with a beautiful, intelligent woman of the 90s. All he has to do is know how to communicate with the woman, how to approach the woman, and he could have dates too. Let me give you an example. One of the questions I took on the survey was, what is the best thing a man can...
Has been a bartender
for over 20 years,
and he decided that nobody knew better about women than he did. So he wrote a book called How to Pick Up Beautiful Women, and he's become an expert on single men and women, right? What is the best place to meet a woman? Now, where'd you meet? Are you married?
Yeah.
Where'd you meet your wife?
Well, you know, any place is the best place.
Where did you meet your wife?
My wife in a nightclub that I worked at.
Okay, it's like a bar.
Yeah, right.
See, I keep telling you this. All right, where are other good places?
Right here is a good place. Every place is a good place. Women don't go to a special place every day for 45 minutes to meet men. You could meet them anywhere you want to meet them. You're allowed to meet women.
Okay. What are for my friends here, what are the fundamentals of picking up a beautiful woman?
Well, one of the questions I took on the survey was this. What is the best thing a man can say to a woman when he first approaches her that would make her feel good? And of the 2,000 women I surveyed, the number one answer for that question was a sincere compliment. Remember, the operative word here is sincere. It takes women sometimes hours to get ready, and they made it plain to me that they expected a man to be intelligent enough to appreciate that fact. And at the times that men have approached them as a gentleman, and I said gentleman, and paid him a sincere compliment, it meant something to them. And that's what I was trying to dig down to find out, so I could build a system and a technique for men. So men would know that they had the confidence to go over to a woman and they knew they were saying the right thing. Now, a lot of women out there said to me, just come over here and say hi. What is the problem? But there's a big problem for us men to do that.
Men can't just walk up to a woman and say hi?
We're having a lot of feelings about a woman and anxiety. We can't just walk up to her and say hi. We feel like, well, who's going to fill in the gaps after that?
Well, no, you just say hi, and then the other person says hi, and you say how you doing, the other person says how you doing, and you're in a conversation,
well,
right?
That doesn't go that way. We feel like, who's going to fill in the gaps after that? We might look foolish and stupid and be rejected by them.
Hi. Say hi back. Hi back. You're right, it's not working for me. I don't know.
You got to be able to learn how to talk. In my book, I have a top 10 opening dialogue or pickup lines, whatever you want to call them.
Give me the number one best pickup line for a beautiful woman.
Okay, let me say what I told my wife when I first met her, okay? She walked into to a nightclub. Well, it was a dinner club at first, so she came in with her parents, and I noticed her, and I spotted her, and I said, well, I have to go over and meet her. So what I did was, and what I said was one of the lines that I have in the book, excuse me, it's never easy meeting a complete stranger, especially one as beautiful as you, without being properly introduced. But shall we try anyway? My name is John, and you are?
Lily. We'll be right back.
Eagan is here. He's the author of How to Pick Up Beautiful Women, and you give some tips. How did you do your research for this book?
Well, I've been a bartender for
curious.
over 20